Elephant money. Here we go. I was DCAing all 2022. Yeah. Good. We're about to off-ramp bag cash. Hit me up. Spritz Finance. All right, party people. It is one time. Elephant money, all right? You're going to be pushing it to the limit. Bertha, life of wild excess, going crazy. She doesn't care. She is buying from the BUSD pool over and over and over again. Hey, it's like more expensive there. What are you doing? She's living it up, Tony Montana style. You know, she doesn't care. All right. She's making her own rules. Woo. All right. So, guys, welcome. This is Bailey from the EMH. And what we're going to do, guys, is try to figure out what is going on. We are life in the fast lane, the fast and the furious. We are pushing it to the limit here in Elephant Money. And guys, like the price is going nuts. Okay. Have you seen the chart lately? I don't know. Let's check it out. All right. So, guys, before we begin, before we kind of dive into everything, if you're new to Elephant Money, if you somehow just like stumbled upon, this crazy YouTube channel of mine, welcome and congrats. All right. Elephant Money, Elephant Token is like you're getting in on a top 10 crypto asset on the ground floor. Okay. This is blue chip asset territory, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Elephant Token. Like those are going to be kind of grouped in the same sentence there. All right. It's going to be awesome. And yet one is going to be superior. Okay. Because you're not going to be able to find it on any centralized exchanges, and it's going to be immune to speculation. It's all governed by the mathematics that is unique to decentralized finance and the decentralized liquidity pools that you find on DEXs. All right. So it's going to be amazing. All right. So check this out, guys. So just before we hop in, I'm on Coin Codex right here, and I'm taking a look, guys, at year-to-date like Elephant Token. Pretty monstrosity, right? Pretty monstrous. 1 year chart, just as strong. Like this past year was pretty rough. All right. But yeah, so like this is going to be the life of a blue chip asset, but we got a little surprise for you. There's going to be a little supply shock where this thing is going to just shoot through the roof, and that's coming up soon. So like, all right, let's compare this thing to Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin over the last year, let's see. Let's add that bad boy in here. Let's add ETH for good measure and check it out. Over the past year, guys, you're going to see Elephant Money up close to 90%. And you got Bitcoin and Ethereum for the year down 10 to 12%. All right. Now, Elephant Token is 2 years old right now. All right. So this is just getting started, guys. Let's see. All right. Get out of here. Let's go year to date, and let's look at BNB. Okay. So we have a liquidity pool that we share with the BNB token. And then we have a liquidity share pool that we share with stablecoin BUSD. All right. So let's see how we're doing against this other blue chip asset. All right. BNB year to date. Okay. All right. So check this out, guys. Now you're going to see like the chart kind of looks similar. Like there's similar patterns here. That's because we are paired with BNB in our liquidity pool. However, guys, you're going to see that Elephant Money is just going to start just decoupling and getting stronger and stronger and more dominant against BNB, all right, which is a huge blue chip asset. All right, it's going to outperform it, like guaranteed, because of the way that the constant product formula and the decentralized finance liquidity pools work. All right, it's not a human speculation. All right, this is really financial engineering at its strongest, at its best. If you take a look, guys, so we got elephant token, up got 70% versus BNB like 27%. Okay. Um, an elephant can go toe to toe with anybody in the game, and it's just going to look amazing. All right. So it's huge, huge, great blue chip asset. Let's pick a couple more at random here. XRP. And what about for the year? Cardano. All right, let's check it out. See, okay, year to date, elephant. Yeah, okay. So it's very strong token, guys. And definitely if you don't have it in your portfolio, yeah, train's gonna be leaving the station soon. All right, so you got to pick some up. Okay, so elephant token, amazing. All right, now how does it do this? All right, why is it just so strong? And it's so strong in the bearish to bear markets, right? How is it doing it? Okay, so we have a little tokenomics action going on, and what we have been doing is we've been really building and building and building the treasury back up over this past year. And we have like two monstrosity liquidity pools, and we've been making huge progress, close to 30 million here and more than 20 million there. And so you're going to see it's like over 50 million of locked liquidity here in elephant money. And we have been doing a strategy where Bertha, who's our elephant treasury, has been buying back elephant token. All right. And she's buying it and buying it and buying it and locking it up and building that treasury up, which is going to, fuel our entire ecosystem. And she's been doing it in a very thrifty way. Right. She's always been looking for the best deal to get the most tokens, the most coins. And she has been, a really thrifty shopper. And she's been keeping these liquidity pools balanced, so there's going to be no arbitrage opportunities or anything. And she's constantly getting the best deal, the best bang for her buck, and putting more elephant token in the bank. All right. Now, all of a sudden, she's got like a little cocky or something. She's like, ooh, she's feeling it. She's got a little spring in her step. And, people are starting to really kind of wake up and be like, dude, this is happening, elephant money. We got to get back in. And all of a sudden, she's like Tony Montana. She's like, hey, we messing with me? Like, I'm going to do what I want to do, So all of a sudden now, like, there's almost a cent difference. She's going crazy and she's just gobbling up the BUSD pool. Okay. Like, what's going on here? Like, and like the chart is like kind of ridiculous, actually. Yeah. Like this thing just is like taking off like crazy, So like the price is out of control. We're close to 15 cents, per million elephant token right now in this BUSD pool. All right. And what we have done and what Bank Teller has done, who's our developer, is he has little FOMO-nomics. He has pushed Bertha's eye towards the BUSD pool. All right. And she's just buying and buying and buying now from the BUSD pool. And, she might not be getting the best price for her token. And she doesn't care. She's just buying from here. All right. And what that's doing is it's actually creating a cool little opportunity for anyone who wants to keep buying the elephant token that they can buy actually from the BNB pool. And they're getting kind of like a little nice discount there to get into the elephant token, so it's making a little FOMO there as well. But like, why are we doing this, right? All of a sudden, Bertha's not being like that economical shopper anymore. And, so I want to show you guys a little bit under the hood of elephant money, all right? Because it's a complex system and it is like it's a really work of art. This is financial engineering at its best. This is actually, it's pretty much like the only real, in my mind, DeFi protocol that is doing things to really move and innovate the space, you know. And this is 100% on-chain yield generation, and it does it in a masterfully way. It just uses the code, where everything else we see nowadays is just like, it's just kind of some spin-off of something that already exists. Like, hey, send us your money, we'll like invest it off chain and like pay you some dividends. Like, that's, you know, like it's crazy stuff, guys. This is just ingenious design. So I want to show you a little bit under the hood to let you guys try to understand some of the movements and why, you know, why Elephant Money is so successful, why Bank Teller is, you know, really a genius and innovator in the space, and why Elephant Money is going to be the place to be in 2023. All right, so just feeling bullish, guys. Like, I don't know, jeez. Okay, so here it is, guys. So cracking the code. All right, so this is one of my videos, check it out if you haven't. Kind of shows you the background story of like how these liquidity pools work and the math formulas that are embedded into these liquidity pools. All right, so these are the formulas that dictate how the relationship between the assets work and what the price is going to be. Okay, and you know, code is law, guys. Like, this is the constraint. This is how the system operates. Okay, so it's completely different from centralized exchanges where the token price can go anywhere. Okay, like it all depends on people on the order books and what they're, you know, trying to accomplish and all, you know, and all that. This is just like, boom, it's just a function of people buying and selling, and that's going to be the price, you know. So if you can get a consistent volume, which the tokenomics do with Bertha, the elephant treasury, you're going to see that it can be very predictable, the trajectory of what the prices are going to be. All right, it's going to be pretty sick, and it forms this parabola. All right, so you know, the formulas are going to look like this. The price formula is what we're going to focus on today, and it's going to be 1 over k, which is the constant, and the constant product formula times x squared. All right, and x squared would be one of our tokens. Okay, so all right, let's go. Okay, and if you're like, whoa, what the heck was that formula? I have lots of videos on it on my channel, so just, you know, check it out. But here we go, guys. So this is going to be our graph here. Bailey on his graphing calculator. Oh yeah, it's gonna be amazing. Yeah, right. Okay, so so this is it right here, guys. So basically what I have is, you know, I've taken all of our latest data from our BUSD liquidity pool. So this is like basically the combination of tokens that we have. So we got like 10.7 million BUSD and just under 72 trillion elephant tokens in there. Multiply them up, you get your constant. And, you know, this is where we're at right now in our price equation. Okay, so when we have 10.7 million token BUSD value or BUSD tokens in that liquidity pool, the elephant tokens are going to be worth just a shade under 15 cents per million. Okay, and that's indicated by this point right here. All right, so the BUSD pool is the blue curve right here, the blue graph. All right, and then we have our BNB pool, and we have our constant product formula that I got here. All right, so here's our BNB. We just keep eating it. You know, it's gonna be, CZ is gonna be in trouble at some point because he's over there burning BNB, being all deflationary, while Bertha is just locking away mounds of BUSD. Sorry, and BNB. So like, there's going to be a problem at some point. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. You know, BNB bullish, but as you saw in the chart, elephant token will always be more than BNB in this liquidity pool. So clear cut choice. All right, but here we go, guys. So this is our K, all right, for our BNB equation. However, guys, when you have to look at it in BUSD because we're comparing the two, then you have to just make an adjustment to make it into BUSD, and that affects the formula just a little bit. But you can see here, like right now, we have a price of B&B at $314.02. Okay. Now the one thing that's tricky with this is, when I'm making these like projections and stuff, like I'm taking a snapshot of B&B like in time, real time. Because that it's volatile, it can change. What's awesome is like say if it pumps, like that saves us so much work that we have to do. And if it dips down even lower, then we have like more work we have to do. But our last all-time high, and last March, B&B was like sitting around like $450 a pop, So if that could get up to that level again, this will just become unreal stuff. So right now, guys, that's where we're at. And so all of our prices in crypto on these centralized exchanges here can go parabolic. All right. And they can also like go to zero. We've seen both of those things pretty much happen, recently, between what we've been, what we usually dip around in our protocols and, some of these meme coins that are going crazy. You kind of see that. So it forms this parabola. So basically, guys, how it works. And one of the things that I think a lot of people understand is that like if you have like deep liquidity, the price doesn't fluctuate or move as much. Whereas you have like shallow liquidity or not as much liquidity, the price fluctuation is a lot more. Okay. So you can kind of see like in this graph right here. So I like to do visuals a lot in math because that helps, especially it helps a lot of people make connections. But people who struggle like numbers wise, a lot of times they can kind of pick things up if they look at it in like a visual representation, be like, oh yeah, I kind of see that. So that's kind of like I'm going more graph on this lesson today. But yeah, so you can see, guys, that like this blue curve like shoots up quicker. So this is the liquidity pool that's a little more shallow. All right. Elephant money shallow, which is like 21 million liquidity. All right. And this one here is the deeper pool. So it's harder to like move, but it's also harder to move backwards as well, so the price is a little more stable there, so it doesn't move as much. All right. So guys, that's part of the reason behind putting the pedal to the metal, all right, pushing it to the limit where Bertha now is just constantly going to be buying from the BUSD pool. All right. So we're at a point where it's like, okay, like we have a healthy thing going. She's at a decent amount, and she can sacrifice like a tiny little bit of efficiency with the buying to really start to pump the price and potentially to get a little more FOMO going, have more people like maybe like see that chart. There are some, unfortunately, like a lot of places like report the liquidity pool that's deeper. But there are like, I think DEX tools and whatnot, like it'll start to pop up on people's radar. And the whole goal is to kind of be like fishing for FOMO, right? Like you're going to start to see like traders who have no clue about elephant money, but then they start to see this token that's just like going up and going up. And the whole idea is we're going to be drawing more people attention to the protocol. And then also potentially, guys, like if the price discrepancy gets high enough where arbitrage can occur and overcome the buy and sell taxes, you might see there's going to be a lot of additional capital flowing into the system. All right, so that would be like a good thing for the protocol. So it's an interesting play, and I'm super bullish on it because I'll show you why in a second here. So guys, if we take a look, like right now, we're at just under 15 cents. All right. And this is in the BUSD pool. Okay. Now what happens, guys, is that as more and more capital gets added, so we move to the right, the price goes up. All right. And this is going to be the curve that we're going to be following for the price in the BUSD pool. So if people buy more elephant, okay, what happens is there's going to be more BUSD in there and less elephant, and the price goes up. If people sell, okay, so when somebody sells, all right, they take some of the BUSD out, okay, so there's not as much BUSD in there, and this price would go down, okay. But what we do have is just this tremendous volume of buy pressure from Bertha that's constantly forcing this this price up, all right, and that's kind of like the crazy price action that we've been seeing lately, all right. So that's how it works, guys. So the prices are going to be sliding along on here. Now, when you think about that, price goes up, price is going down, price goes up, price is going down, like that's what creates this sideways moving graph. Okay, so it's like this kind of like swinging and of interchanging all these different locations on your constant product formula and price equation curves, and then it's plotting it out on as a time graph, on time on the x-axis. So that's why it kind of looks like that. Whereas in algebra and like your graphing calculator, you just kind of see that one curve, all right? But, it's constantly kind of finding the price as transactions are occurring, okay? All right, so what I want to show you guys is pedal to the metal, pushing it to the limit here. Here's the whole intent, okay? So say if, and I just want to show you guys this, all right? So we got here our prices in our current locations. Notice how this price is a little higher, so if we look over, this point is higher than this point if we travel over to our price. All right, so we have a higher price right now. And let's check it out, guys. So let's see. So for our BUSD pool here, what if we add $1 million? Okay, so we're going to have $1 million more dollars in that pool, okay, which means $1 million more buy from Bertha, or $1 million more buy from Bertha and buys to counter any sells that occur. But say $1 million more dollars are going to sit in that pool. Let's kind of see where the price would be. Okay, so if we check it out, guys, here's what we can do. All right, so I'll show you guys. So so we go over to our 10.7 million. All right, so it's right here. I look up, okay, and I find my location. Okay, that's where we're at right now, because there's $10.7 million in the liquidity pool. All right, so that's what our price is. Okay, now what I do is I'm going to say, all right, let's add $1 million to that. Okay, so instead of 10.7, 11.7 million. Okay, so go over to 11.7 million and travel up until you get to your point along the curve there. Okay, and that's going to tell you that our price, all right, is going to be 17.87 cents per million elephant token. Okay, so it's going to be pushing up the price when we have $1 million more dollars in that liquidity pool. All right, and what I did, guys, here was I just showed you what the percent or price appreciation would be from that one point to the other point. All right, so we subtract the difference. All right, that tells us how much we gained, and divide by your starting amount. All right, and that tells you what percentage of your starting amount you gained, and then or times 100 to get your percent. All right, so that's going to be about 19.5% price appreciation from the pool there, with $1 million extra dollars input in. All right, so an elephant token removed. All right, interesting. Okay, Now, guys, let's see what happens with the next 1 million. Okay. So remember, this is where a lot of people think, they say like, oh, well, the treasury gained like X amount of tokens this week and this week. And then they kind of try to extrapolate that out as like a linear pattern. All right. And elephant money is nothing but linear. Okay. The fact is, as we move further and further into the future, the price is going to be going up and up more rapidly or parabolically. And actually, the amount of tokens that Bertha is going to be receiving is actually going to slow down. It's going to get less and less and less, actually, because they're more expensive. Okay, but that doesn't mean that we're not making progress, because the tokens are going to be a lot more valuable. All right, so so a lot of people like, you have to get out of the linear thinking. All right, welcome to elephant money, man. Red pill. Here you go. Okay, so all right, so there we go, guys. Now, what if we put another million in, right? So the same amount of capital. Okay, so the same amount of capital, we should see even a little more price appreciation than that 19.5%. Okay, so if we do that, guys, so I added a third little line here where I added 2 million, all right, to my original amount. So moved out an additional 1 million, and I look up at my pool, and now we're a little over 21 cents per million elephant tokens. Okay, so pretty awesome. And if we then calculate the price appreciation from the original value that we're at today with 2 million more in capital in there, it's 40.7%. Okay, so it's more than this 19.5% doubled. All right, because if it's linear growth, all right, it would be like that same amount. But notice how it picked up a little steam. All right, and it's going to pick up more steam and then more steam the next time. Okay, so you can kind of see that, guys. And what you'll be able to tell is from here to here, say with that 2 million extra dollars in there. Let's see if I can see. Let's see if I can zoom it out. There we go. So you can see, guys, that we're at very much almost 15 cents per million. And you can even see on the graph that we're now, if we count by 1 cent, all right, so 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 cents, all right, per million. We gained about 6 units or 6 boxes on the graph in price there. Okay, so shooting up a little more rapidly. So people are going to be like, oh, this is going to be like on those like top gainer lists and everything, that we might start seeing more people kind of like paying attention to the chart and everything. All right, so that's kind of the intent, is to be like, hey, check it out. Now, here's the cool thing about it. It's actually like not as wasteful, or you might be like, oh my gosh, like, Bertha's not getting the best deal anymore. You're going to see that even though she's buying from this pool, it actually still makes sense, because we actually are using our capital efficiently, this time generating more price action and price increase rather than just token in the treasury. All right, so I want to show you guys this. So the plus 2 million was able to create for us about 40.7% of price appreciation in this BUSD pool. All right, let's clean this up. All right, declutter visually. All right, get that out of there. Okay, so let's see the same thing with the B&B pool. So you can kind of get like an idea of why, Bertha kind of focusing on this pool at this point in time kind of makes sense. All right. This has been like a Herculean effort, because we have these 2 massive liquidity pools that Bertha's like constantly just like plowing through. And it takes like tons of capital to move both of these things at the same time. and especially this B&B pool when like the B&B price isn't like flying, you know? So, so let's check it out, guys. So here, we're a little over 14 cents per million elephant token. And the BUSD value of the B&B right now is a little under 15 million. It's like 14.9 million BUSD worth of B&B in that pool. Okay. So now let's kind of do the same exercise here where we're going to add like $1 million of buy into this pool. All right. So if we do that, bam. All right. So I'll show you guys that. So, all right. So we had our B&B times the price right now is $314. All right. So that'd be that just under that 15 million. So I'd go just to 15 million, zoom up, and there's my point where I'm at today. And then if we take that same amount and we add $1 million, all right, now we're at 15.9 million, which would be over here on our x-axis. Look up, and there we go. And that $1 million put in, and this is B&B staying at that kind of like steady range right there. So about 16, just tiny bit over 16 cents per million. Okay, so we went from 14 to 16 cents per million. And that would be, guys, if we found the difference and divide by our original amount times 100, 13.7% price appreciation. Okay, where we got on our BUSD pool, we got 19.5% price appreciation for the same amount of capital. All right, this time we only got 13.7% price appreciation. Okay, and if we do this again, so our B&B again, and we're going to add another million to it. So we're now at 16.9 million. So I come over 16.9 million. I look up. All right, find my location there. And now we're at 18.1 cents per million. All right, so 18 cents per million tokens there. Okay, and if we subtract the difference, yeah, it's a little weird. It's like a little different. Let's say 18.10. All right, and if we subtract and we find the difference there, that's like 28.5, 28.6% price appreciation. Okay, so you can kind of see, all right, and you see here from here to here that 2 million extra dollars, you know, if we count up 1, 2, 3, 4, we got about 4 cents of price appreciation per million, where we got 6 cents per price appreciation for the price appreciation for the BUSD pool. Okay, so that's kind of the idea, guys. And I wanted to just show you that. So, you know, if you're in the ecosystem and you're kind of following along, but then it's a little fuzzy sometimes, like, all right, why is like, you know, like, yes, we know we're pulling off like chess champion moves here, but like, what's the logic behind that? What's the logic here? Hopefully you can kind of see it where basically for the same amount of capital, okay, we're getting a lot more price action on this pool, all right? And the price is going to be able to go up a lot quicker than in this pool. So that's the idea, okay? And you can see it too, like, so we gained here, guys, we gained 6 cents per million. And over here, we only gained 4 cents per million, okay? So we gained price action wise. We had a 50% more price increase, you know, 4 cents compared to 6 cents. We were able to increase our price 50% more using the capital just being directed into the BUSD pool. All right, so that's why I was saying, like, I was like, that makes sense to me because it feels like we're using our capital more efficiently. So even if, like, say, eventually the price discrepancy gets like super high, and arbitrage can happen where, it surpasses like that 20% difference, the 10% tax in and out. We're still, and it drops, it'll drop the price because of arbitrage, it'll drop the price from here and raise it up from here a little bit. We're still using our capital more effectively because we were able to generate 50% more price gain by focusing the capital here on the BUSD pool. Okay. And you kind of see it. It's just basically, guys, the ratio between these two pools, so if you think 30 million and 20 million, all right, 30 million is like 1.5 times as big. So it's like 50% more liquidity in there. So it's harder to get the price up that much. So that's why we got 50% more price, price gain on the lesser pool there. All right. So that's kind of like how that works. I have like ninja, like super crazy math stuff coming up. That's going to be niche for some people that are interested in it. But so this is kind of like the whole idea, guys, behind what we're doing now with Elephant Money is we kind of moved into a phase where, we are directing all of our capital at one pool. We are going nuts. All right. We are going to just be shooting this chart like off the globe, and people are going to notice, and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, like this elephant token like has been running for 2 years, has been absolutely crushing and demolishing everything, and we're completely sleeping on it, or we never saw on Coin Market Cap and CoinGecko, because why would they put it on there? Yeah. No, they're I don't know, gatekeepers, man. And it could just be like, hey, Elephant Money is built differently because we are a decentralized asset. We are not on centralized exchanges. We will never be on centralized exchanges because we are harnessing the power of these math formulas, and we're able to shoot up these curves so much because of the ingenuity behind Bertha, the Elephant Treasury, and then all of our other tokens, like our other tokenomics, like the taxes with all of our value capture and building the liquidity and the floor price so high, and the just really awesome rebalancing burn wallet that's constantly recycling value and liquidity, known as the Elephant Graveyard. It's just like, it's a lovely system, guys. But that's why Bertha's going nuts, man. She is pushing it to the limit. Elephant Money, feel the FOMO, guys. All right. Sorry if this was a little bit of a longer video, and if you're still hanging in there with me, like, thank you guys very much. I really appreciate the support. And till next time, all right, pack your bags, guys, because we're going to be going crazy. All right. Elephant Money 2023, bend the knee. Bailey from the EMH, I'm out.